Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. So let's talk how to grow a small stock trading account. And this is all going to be documented and shown with proof. In fact, on the topic of proof, that's exactly what you're looking at right here. These are the statements from one of the members of the community that I offer sent me. And specifically right there, you can see that his starting balance was less than $1,500. So 14, the starting balance that he had in his stock trading account. And I'm going to show how this has all grown and talk about how it happened. What sort of things did this member have in place? How did he go about it? And that way it gives you a couple different, angles of, what it actually takes to make a trading account grow, particularly a small trading account. So to offer up more context, when he sent me this was back, actually, wow, time flies, but several months ago. And again, the starting balance was up there at 14. Now I show you all this and I want to provide even more documentation, which if you go to claytrader.com where the video is hosted on that specific page, you can click there and get more information as far as seeing these actual documents. So that'll be down below that video. I realize if you're watching on YouTube, you can't attach documents or anything like that. But if you go to the site, then you'll be able to get all of that if you want to look at more of the details. But that is where that can be found. And I bring all this up, sure to offer up an example, but also to know that there's no theory here, okay? This is all trading. This is all results that actually happened. So we'll put aside the textbooks for now. We're not talking in theory. We are talking in real life results. And that way everybody knows that this stuff is possible and that it, has actually happened. So here is the next thing that Remy is what we call him in the community. His first name is Jeremy, but Remy sent me this as an update, and you can see right there at the date, February 10th. So this has been multiple months later, and the key number to there, look, is right there, his short-term net, and that is his profits, $5,500. That's what he made during this period of time. But the idea here is the profit right there, $5,500. And once again, if you want to see all the documents and all the trades and how that all played out, I have put that at claytrader.com, like I talked about with that previous statement. And here's the key dynamic here. Here is what he was able to manage and continue to do. So as we just talked about, his entire balance was starting off at $1,400. However, now it sits, and here's the powerful part. This is only the profit. That number up there, that's only profit. That is not his account balance, but his profit in and of itself was now $5,500. So it's not like he grew his account from $1,400 to $5,500, which in and of itself, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. That's great. But no, that is his profit only. So from a starting account balance of $1,400 to now generating in just profit alone, $5,500, very, very well done. Which brings up the question, okay, well, yeah, how did he actually make it happen, though? How did he grow his small account from $1,400 to now being able to pull off, $5,500? So there's really three key dynamics that I want to focus on that I want you to be aware of, and that really needs to happen, and that can many times get muddled up out there because in the world of social media, in the world of marketing, in the world of sales pitches, there's always all sorts of different angles and impressions and, tweaks and twists and turns and buyer psychology that are thrown out there. But the first one, and this is just the fact of the matter, maybe not the most popular thing to say, but he kept his mindset grounded in reality, which to all the points I just talked about, that can be very difficult to do. Maybe 20 years ago was a little bit easier. I guess then you had the late night infomercials, which still kind of try to pull your mind out of reality. But in this day and age, not only do you still have late night infomercials, you have social media, like I was saying, and all those other various, who knows, maybe before you even watched this video, there was an ad that played that was trying to pull your mindset out of reality. But what is reality? None of this happens quick. As you saw, this was a multi-month process. It's not like he started in September and then all of a sudden, September 15th, everything had happened. No, this is multiple months, almost a half a year. Yeah, I get it. A half a year. Half a year. I don't want to. That's a long. You know what? None of this happens overnight. I get it. I'm well aware. A lot of people out there make it seem like it does. A lot of people out there make it imply, hey, if you're brand new, you can make it happen. Look what I did, or look what, and it's, whoa, calm down. Let's keep the mindset grounded in reality. But how do you actually keep your mindset grounded in reality when you combine that with trading? Because that's very difficult to do. I get it. I sit here. I say, you got to keep your mindset grounded in reality. Well, here's the next very important thing that from what I've seen, and I've been, helping traders and coaching, teaching, whatever you want to call it, since 2013. And one common theme I see out there is a lot of people think that having a full-time job and not being a quote unquote full-time trader is a bad thing, or, well, you're not actually a real trader. You don't even do it full time. And there's a negative connotation that goes along with it that makes people think, well, unless I'm full time, then I'm not really a trader. No, that quite the opposite, actually. Full-time jobs are awesome, especially in this case. Why? Well, first, let me take a step back, getting ahead of myself. Remy has been on the podcast that I offer, I want to say 3 times, but his most recent episode was episode 243. So if you just go to claytrader.com/podcast, you can listen if you want more of the background of Remy and this details. So like I said, I'm not going to go through his entire life story and everything because, like I said, I think our last episode was over an hour long. Point being, you can dig much deeper into Remy. Like I said, claytrader.com/podcast, and then just look up episode 243. But the dynamic here is when you have a full-time job, it allows you to have patience. It allows you to say, you know what? It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. I got to stay grounded in reality that things are going to take time. But it's super easy to have patience if you have a full-time job and have money coming in. Maybe not necessarily a full-time job. Maybe you got a couple part-time jobs. My point is, when you have other forms of income, then it becomes much easier to be patient. I mean, if you just flat out say, well, I'm going to be a trader, quitting my full-time job, and here we go. Well, you know what? The landlord's still going to want his rent. The bank, if you have a house, still going to want that mortgage payment. The gas company, they're going to want that gas bill payment. And if you're putting yourself in a situation where now you have to make money, and I got to keep going. Well, wait a second there. That's going to be a very, very difficult circumstance if you're trying to grow a small account. Really, in all actuality, grow any size account. That's going to be very difficult if all of a sudden you need to make money because this is your only source of income. But much easier to find patience and be patient when you know that, I don't need to trade. I don't need to force anything because I still have a job. There's still money coming in. And then just from a practical personal finance, a wealth building point of view, multiple streams of income. That's what it's all about. Full-time job or some other part-time jobs while you're trading. Yeah, let's get as many streams of income as possible. Moral of the story here, there's no shame in having a full-time job while you're still trading. You don't have to. In fact, I would say the best traders that are part of the community, most of them still have other streams of income. I'm not going to say that they have full-time jobs, but they're out there just hustling in other areas just to create as many streams of income as possible. Because again, from a practical, just foundational wealth building perspective, that's what it's all about. You want to diversify within the markets, right? You want to have many different stocks in an investment portfolio, and you want to have diversification of income streams too. And then the final thing, the way he made it happen was options trading. And what exactly is options trading? The best way to look at it is it allows you to get involved in legitimate companies with smaller amounts of money. Maybe you've seen options trading. Maybe you've even looked into it and you're thinking, oh no, Clay, that's crazy. That's way too complicated. Some people make it way too complicated because I suppose they just want to sound very smart and very intelligent. And you know what? I'm going to give those people the benefit of the doubt. They are probably very smart, very intelligent. But people like myself that are a little bit more average in the sense of, IQ levels. I am by no means a genius. I would prefer things just be simplified. So options trading, I totally understand if you may have some sort of, I don't know about that because you've seen other things. But my point is, if anything, give it another try because it's not nearly as complicated as what some people make it seem to be. Now, how does it work? How is this powerful? Well, let's just look at Amazon. Amazon, as of this, when I put this slide together, was trading over $2,100. Over $2,100. That's pretty crazy. Here is a little screenshot that I took from Remy's statements, which again, you can go and find if you want to look deeper. And the key powerful part here is what was the cost to get involved? Again, keep in mind the context. Amazon, their stock, price per share, over $2,100. But how much did it cost Remy to get involved? Right there. One trade there, $756. Another trade, $378. Wait a second. How is he able to trade Amazon? How is he able to get involved with Amazon for $750, for $378, when their price per share was $2,100? That is the powerful thing of options. That's how it works. Allows you to get involved with legitimate companies. So any company out there that you say, wow, you know what? Especially if you have any experience in penny stocks or micro caps where there's all sorts of shady stuff going on and you just never know, volume can dry up in a second. A lot of times chart patterns maybe don't act as smoothly as what they would in other stocks because there's not nearly as much volume. Well, you can still get involved in those high volume stocks, those very well-known companies with options trading. And that's what Remy's been doing. That's what he has been using as a tool to grow his account. And that's powerful. It's very possible. But again, it all goes back to he kept a realistic attitude the whole time. He had that full-time job, which made having patience so much more realistic to do. And then because it was a smaller account, he decided to look into options trading, which, as you see here, he could get involved with companies such as Amazon, $2,100 for as little as $378. And that's how you can make it happen. It's all about perspective. It's all about having a strategy and a game plan that actually works. And remember, like I said, if you want all the nitty-gritty details of Remy and his situation, he's been a guest on the podcast. Hopefully this kind of steers you in the right direction, maybe clears up some misconceptions for you, especially about the whole job thing. It's totally cool if you have a job. In fact, I commend you if you have a job or a couple part-time jobs. Like I said, that's a great wealth building tool in the sense of multiple streams of income. If you did enjoy, actually let me know down below in the comment section. Are you currently trading and you have a full-time job or you have a part-time job? For those of you that do have part-time jobs or some side hustles or whatever, let me know down in the comment section. Let others know. Maybe you could give somebody else an idea of what to do to help bring in the multiple streams of income, because again, that is what it's all about, and there is no shame at all in being a trader, but also having other streams of income. That's the name of the game, assuming, of course, you want to build wealth and put yourself in the best position possible. So like I said, let me leave down in the comment section. Also, if you just have any questions in general, please leave those in the comment section. If you've ever watched any of my other videos, hopefully you notice that I do reply to comments in all comments. So if you do leave something below, I will reply to it and read it. So, and then also if you just enjoyed the video in general, please hit that like button and also check out the channel as a whole. Lots of other videos like this. There's live trade videos. There's quick tip videos. There's a good variety of videos. So check out the channel and hopefully you decide to ultimately subscribe. So thank you for hanging out. And like I said, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.